Boy Blackrue back with another video. What's going on, my man E in the chat here? But before we get started, as always, let's cue my man Indigo Saint. Let's get it, y'all. Boom. Let's get it. Indigo Saint in the building. Blackrue investing. Let's go.
Best believe it was Blackrue investing. With your money, you ain't gotta be guessing. Profits is what we manifesting. So we binge on our Blackrue investing. Best believe it was Blackrue investing. Dark horse in this race, we ain't resting. We got stocks, we got crypto with a blessing. So thank God for that Blackrue investing. Best believe it was Blackrue investing.
What is up, guys? What's going on? We're a little bit late here. We're a lot of bit late here. Let me know if this time works better for you guys or not. But hey, yeah, let's share the screen here. Let's see, boom, boom, boom. So RFK Jr. is out in the streets, champion Bitcoin like a true captain over here. So that's why we got RFK as Captain Bitcoin. We're going to get into that. We're going to watch a video right quick. Also, inverse SEC, and I'm going to let you know what we're talking about when we say that, okay? So what is up, Nitish? What is up, Technically Bullish? Let's go, let's go. So I think the best place to start might be RFK Jr. So we're going to do it in true Blackrue fashion. We're going to go at 1.5 times speed. And just to let you know, his voice sounds weird. I don't know if this is how the man normally sounds or he was just going through something that day. Either way, he kind of will play it and we'll get you guys as like, we'll get some opinions on it because yeah, we'll get some opinions on it. I will hold my comments until the end. And as always, if you guys have any questions or want to look at certain coins or whatnot, put them in the chat. We'll get to them at the end. But let's cue RFK. Let me make sure here that my sound is all the way up and whatnot. Okay, sound is not all the way up. Okay, it is now. And captions are on, even though it's going to be going fast. Let's go.
Hello, Bitcoiners. Well, there's a lot of people who are not in this room for whom Bitcoin may seem an issue that's too trivial for a presidential campaign. David Bailey at a party that we were at last night asked me how I got sold on Bitcoin. And I told him that it happened to me in an instant when I saw the truckers, what happened at the trucker strike in Ottawa. And
so I'm really surprised he mentioned the trucker strike in Ottawa, but let's continue going on. He's going to talk about it.
A few months before that, I'd gone to Italy and I'd given a public speech to a large crowd in Italy about the dangers of digital currency and particularly programmable currency that could be used by governments to enforce, to punish bad behavior in combination with surveillance systems and facial recognition systems that the government would know when you were doing something wrong and could change your credit card. And this is what's happening in China. So they would only purchase groceries within maybe a 5-minute walk of your home. And I said that hypothetically, and I think 6 weeks after.
And this is true. CBDCs and limiting what you can purchase based on a credit score, a social credit score, is happening in China. Okay. So that's happening in China, just like carbon credits are also happening in China. And you think these like things aren't connected, and we hear like all the time like China is like the enemy or whatever, when the World Economic Forum, they preach carbon credits, they preach climate change. All this is coming from them. All of it is coming from the World Economic Forum. So it's not like China versus the US, China and Russia versus G7. No, it's World Economic Forum, and we telling y'all what to do, basically. So let's do a backtrack on that.
A few months before that, I'd gone to Italy, and I'd given a public speech to a large crowd in Italy about the dangers of digital currency, and particularly programmable currency that could be used by governments to enforce, to punish bad behavior, in combination with surveillance systems and facial recognition systems that the government would know when you were doing something wrong and could change your credit card. And this is what's happening in China. So they would only purchase groceries within maybe a 5-minute walk of your home. And I said that hypothetically, and I think 6 weeks after I made that speech, I saw that very thing happen to the truckers in Ottawa. As most of you know, that trucker strike was a peaceful demonstration of people who were demanding rights that are sacred and are taken for granted for every American.
I'm so shocked again that he says that trucker strike, and it was a peaceful demonstration. But I believe Justin Trudeau actually called those truckers terrorists. Okay? He went that far to go use the terrorist word, right? But it was a peaceful demonstration. So I'm extraordinarily shocked that he would say that. But going on.
The right to be free of government mandates, the right for free assembly, the right for free speech, the right to petition our government, all of those things that we take for granted. And nonetheless, and it was a peaceful
Let me go back just a second here.
Of people who are demanding rights that are sacred and are taken for granted for every American. The right to be free of government mandates, the right for free assembly, the right for free speech, the right to petition our government, all of those things that we take for granted. And nonetheless, and it was a peaceful demonstration, nonetheless, the Canadian government fiercely repressed the truckers' protest. Government officials declared a state of emergency. They suppressed free speech. Perhaps most alarmingly, they froze the bank accounts of hundreds of protesters and their supporters, which they identified using surveillance and data monitoring technologies. Some of these lawful and peaceful protesters, none of these lawful and peaceful protesters had violated any law. They had not been charged, and they certainly had not been convicted. But suddenly they found that they could not access their money, their bank accounts, to pay their mortgages or to feed their families. When I witnessed this cataclysm, this devastating use of government repression, I realized for the first time how free money is as important to freedom as free expression. And
that's huge. That's huge to hear anyone say that. Free money is as important as freedom of expression. And by the way, Bitcoin conference or whatever, free use, fair use on this, fair use. I'm not going to play the whole thing. We're just going to listen to like the first few minutes. Definitely go over to Bitcoin magazine to check out the whole one, okay? But we're just going to play a couple minutes.
A government that has the power to starve its citizens when they're disobedient will inevitably turn our entire country into serfs. It is the ambition of every totalitarian regime to exercise complete control over every aspect of our lives. We live at a time now that technology has dangerously expanded the capacity for governments and corporations to control our lives. Distant, impersonal, multinationals, and authoritarian technologies have usurped the realms of human activity that were once private or held by community.
I get into this all the time with you guys. It's really amazing to hear him say that. Like, government and the amount of data that they got on us, like they're so usurping privacy, freedom, and the right to do a lot of different things that we're supposed to have the right of, like freedom of speech, freedom of choice, a lot of that. But very surprising to see him getting to that. I'm going to step a couple seconds back and continue.
It is the ambition of every totalitarian regime to exercise complete control over every aspect of our lives. We live at a time now that technology has dangerously expanded the capacity for governments and corporations to control our lives. Distant, impersonal, multinationals, and authoritarian technologies have usurped the realms of human activity that were once private or held by community. They monitor our every movement, our communications, our every transaction, and the technologies they use to monitor us can also be used to control us. Led by the United States, liberal democracies across the globe suddenly pivoted during the pandemic and used that crisis as an excuse to trample essential constitutional rights and freedoms. Governments suspended the rights to free assembly, the freedom of worship, property rights, trial by jury, and they censored free speech in the name of combating misinformation and disinformation. we lost our freedom to travel. The mandates cost us even sovereignty over our own bodies. Some might say, well, those were just temporary restrictions and temporary suspensions of our rights. But the Constitution has no pandemic exception. And
he says the Constitution has no pandemic exception. Our rights to travel, our rights for what we should have put on our bodies should have been respected. Huge, huge, huge to hear like a politician of this caliber to say something like this, right? But again, at Bitcoin, he's touting Bitcoin and the use of free, like sovereign money too. So just gonna listen to like a minute more, and I'm gonna come out for questions and kind of like overall talk about this and like how this could be positive for Bitcoin.
And by the way, the framers of the Constitution knew all about pandemics. There was a malaria epidemic that decimated the armies of Virginia during the Revolutionary War, and a smallpox epidemic that froze the armies of New England at the very time when Benedict Arnold had led the capture of the city of Montreal. And because smallpox had decimated that force, we were not able to hold Montreal. Otherwise, Canada today would be part of the United States. And the framers knew that at the time. Not only that, but between the end of the Revolutionary War and the ratification 9 years later of the Bill of Rights, there were epidemics in almost every city in our country. Smallpox epidemics, cholera epidemics, yellow fever epidemics that killed tens of thousands of people. And yet, the framers did not put an epidemic exception in the Constitution. They wrote the Constitution not for easy times, but for hard times. And
it's so funny that the caption said not for easy times, but it said not for Yeezy times. But anyway, I think that's good enough right there. So amazing to hear a politician approach all those different things. Let me see what we got in the comments there. What's up, my man Ace? What's up? I gotta top this comment. He's a Democrat though. I gotta top that comment. No, that is his voice. That is not the video. That is not the video. What's up, Nerd Up Inc. Marv? What is up, Peterson? What's up, Ryu Sharukin 7? Now I gotta be. Let me talk to you for a second here. I gotta be consistent out here, right? I say I don't trust both sides, and I don't trust both sides. How easy would it be for them to basically give someone talking points that a Bitcoin person would very much, what's up, my man, heavy production, talking points that a Bitcoin person would very much love. How easy would it be? Because he's hitting like all the conspiracy talking points. He's hitting all the Bitcoin talking points again. And I think it's my man, Kid Grabo, who kind of like summed this up really easily for us a couple days ago. The illusion choice, right? I've said it to you guys so many times, right? The whole conundrum, right? Chocolate, vanilla, choose. The whole polarity thing goes back to Hermetic principles. Those principles were attributed to Hermes, but they're probably older than Hermes. But anyways, duality. Chocolate, vanilla, choose. Democrat, Republican, choose. Who's really in power? The person who's giving the choice, right? Because I could have chocolate and vanilla. I could be the person selling the ice cream, and I tell you chocolate and vanilla, choose. Those are your only options. But I have a surplus in chocolate and vanilla. All right? Right? So I don't care which one you choose. You're getting rid of my extra inventory. I'm the one with all the power because I gave the question out. Hence, the illusion, again, the illusion of power, Democrat, Republican, I give you those as an option, not I personally, but elites, right? World Economic Forum, those type of people, right? Give you Democrat and Republican as an option. Chocolate, vanilla, choose, right? Maybe one day we will choose, okay, Democrat, Republican, choose. We're choosing neither. We're choosing people. We're choosing ourselves. We're choosing to break out of these whole duality stuff, the whole Democrat Republican stuff, the whole black white stuff, and choose the people, because the corporations, the government, they only care about the corporations. They only care about the corporations who've been earning money time and time and time and time again. That's who they care about. Doesn't matter if you're, Democrat, Republican, black, right, jab, like jab or waskied up or not jabbed up or any of that, right? So got to be consistent on that. So I am consistent on that right now. It's hard for me to believe any of these people. Okay. And if you look at certain things like Bohemian Grove and different things like different things that only the elite people go to on both sides, right? If you look at those type of things, they all run in the same circles. So it is just an illusion of power, right? An illusion of choice. Chocolate, vanilla, choose. Democrat, Republican, choose. However, is this good for Bitcoin? I think Bitcoin is going to be great with or without this, right? But it seems like RFK is being angled, or his character, his role is the Bitcoin supporter, the conspiracy supporter. Me too, bro. Me too. I don't do it. I don't trust any of them, right? So it seems to me he's being angled to be this type of candidate. So I don't know. I think Bitcoin's just going to make it. It's going to make it regardless of all of this, right? I'm not sure why they're choosing to bring up Scottie Pippen right now. I ain't pressed that button. Okay, there we go. So, yeah. So just in just the same way to continue the consistency, right? In just the same way, I don't believe Gary Gensler is the one holding up crypto in the US, right? So you mean to tell me, let me show you. BlackRock CEO touts tokenization, says that, he wants tokenization. Tokenization is going to happen. Tokenization's good and going to tokenize assets in, in DeFi. And he's turning attention to the BRICS areas, India, Brazil, and parts of Africa. So you mean to tell me BlackRock, who every president, no matter who it is, BlackRock has a connection to the U.S. Treasury, the money. And you can see him right there, World Economic Forum. That's where he's at. Why? Because he sits on the board of representatives of the board of the World Economic Forum. BlackRock, okay, $10 trillion under tow. So I'm supposed to believe these guys, World Economic Forum, who predicted the pandemic, right? Predicted it before it happened. These guys who predicted a lot of things before it happened. I'm just going to use that one so nobody gets flagged, but just using that one. So you're supposed to tell me that these type of guys who always have control of the U.S. Treasury, Gary Gensler is the one who's just holding up crypto in the U.S. Just him alone, right? But everybody else seems to be about it, but not him. And he's the holdup. He's playing his role, but I don't think it's, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think Gary is the holdup here. That's the way it's supposed to play out in my mind. Okay? Everybody loves the bad guy. They cast him in the bad guy role. He's playing it. and he's playing it. So again, another that segues us into these 37 cryptos deemed securities by the SEC, by Gary. Okay, consequences of trading them. Let's just ignore that, because so many of the cryptos that he calls out are actually cryptos that the World Economic Forum support. Let's go take a look. XRP, I've shown you. They're members of the World Economic Forum. They're rubbing noses with this guy. And Klaus Schwab, who, by the way, is Henry Kissinger's protege. Henry Kissinger trained Klaus Schwab. And you know Kissinger was big when the Kennedy brothers, when the Kennedy brothers were alive. And he's still alive, Henry Kissinger. So come on now. This is the straw that stirs the drink. But you're now getting me to believe, trying to get me to believe that XRP, member of the World Economic Forum, LCX, member of the World Economic Forum, LCX, the same exchange where the European MiCA says that we're using them as a guinea pig for our European crypto laws. So you're getting me to believe that these guys are securities and these guys are the bad ones. And there's going to be consequences for trading these guys. Is that I just can't, it's hard for me to believe that. So LCX, Algorand, who the Bank of Italy is using them to do stuff. The Central Bank of Italy, right, by the way. XRP also has ties to central banks. So these are the guys who are at risks here. And Tron, who has over $1 billion in their DeFi, led by Justin Sun, former Ripple employee, recognized by the World Economic Forum. So you're telling me these made guys are a problem and that I shouldn't be trading them and they're possibly going to be securities and I should watch out because they're in question in the US? Is that what you're telling me? I just find it hard to believe. And it's almost making me say inverse Kramer here. Like how Kramer says, oh, that bank is going to be fine. 2 weeks later, the bank is closing and people have lost 97% of their money. It's making me think inverse Kramer. Okay, these are the ones you don't want me to invest in. Okay, those are the ones I should invest in. It's making me feel that way. I don't know. What do you guys think? Especially just knowing the track record of those 4 coins that I just pointed out. Not even talking Filecoin, but that's another one. I just point out LCX, Tron, XRP, and Algorand. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Can you please explain this project called Sweet? Yeah, for sure. What's up, my guy Scott? By the way, my guy Scott sent me this, by the way. I just want to point that out. Thank you. Appreciate it, Scott. Could it be SEC versus WEF? The SEC isn't strong enough to to go against the WEF. That's what I'm saying. They're trying to make me think that that's, or not me personally, but they're trying to get us to think, well, first of all, all of us guys out here, all of the people that are going to watch this video, all the people that are watching the recording, we're probably the people who know better anyway, right? More than more than I guess like 90% of the world thinks that crypto is a scam. Okay. I was just talking to a guy about this today, and he's just like, bro, I don't even like. We were talking about crypto, and he was like, bro, I don't even mention crypto to people because when I mention it to them, they say, oh, okay, that's a scam. What are you doing? Blah, 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 blah. And, me and him, we were just vibing over crypto. And he was talking about how he made some nice money with Doge and whatnot. Bird Dog just mentioned it. My guy, shout out to my guy, Bird Dog. He just mentioned it in the chat. If you guys are not in the Blackrue investing community chat, it's totally free. But he mentioned it as well today. The thing I realized is that we may think everyone knows this stuff, but we're really a small niche of crypto experts. And I think he was talking about just like me and him who do like videos and whatnot. But also you guys. Also for you guys. And like seriously, we should be spreading the word if we can to our family. Like it might take a little bit. You might have to ease them in there, but there's so much freaking misinformation like this. Like, let's go ahead and pull up Yahoo right quick. I don't know if you guys had this on your Yahoo feed for sports, but I have it on my Yahoo feed for sports. They're up here saying Shaquille O'Neal ducking his lawyers over FTX with his Mason self, Freemason self. Come on, guys. Like all the misinformation, man. It kills me. But I get why they're doing it. Like if so many people are misinformed, they won't know to invest until it's too late. And then they will be buying people's bags. They will be buying our bags. Shaq allegedly has been dodging his lawyers, representing FTX investors for months, when we already know FTX was meeting with Gary Gensler. FTX was doing things with the Ukraine. We already know how Sam Bankman-Fried's parents were connected. Come on now. Like, it just makes me so frustrated. But that's okay. We can tell our families, we can get out there and let our friends know and the friends of our friends know, and they can be a part of this. That is a Telegram, by the way, a heavy production. It should be in the description, by the way. If it's not, just let me know. I'll stick a link in here for you guys. Thank you, bro. I'm glad, bro. I'm glad. Like you will not be disappointed. You will not be disappointed. I can say that. Well, not financial advice. Not financial advice, right? It's what I can only say what I'm doing. I'm in there, and I'm going to continue to be in there, and I'm going to continue to DCA in there because I think it's going to $1. That's what I think. So put it like that. Hey, look over here at all this stuff. Meanwhile, we make our moves while your attention is occupied. Classic misdirection, bro. Classic misdirection. And that's what happens. Like guys, just one example, right? I don't know, you guys who are into rap music, right? You guys are aware of, or you don't necessarily have to be into rap music. Maybe you're into history. Ronald Reagan, right? Harshest drug laws, right? Some of the harshest drug laws. Meanwhile, Barry Seal was flying drugs for the CIA at Ronald Reagan's direction. And this is not theory. This is not conspiracy theory. This is proven. In fact, they even have normie movies with Tom Cruise being Barry Seal. I think it's called the American Made or something like that. where it shows this. So it's you can watch American Made. Like it's out there. So while he had the harshest drug laws, locking up the same people who were out there earning ultimately him money because he was the person who had Barry Seal through the CIA. He was the person who had Barry Seal fly the drugs into America. Okay? Classic misdirection. Happens so much, so often. Like Elon Musk just recently said something like, AI is going to be the death of us or something like that. We should use caution with AI. Meanwhile, he's an investor in Chat GPT. He's like he's a funder of Chat GPT, which of course King and Zay have told you guys on here before. So you guys are not anybody on the Gentleman of Crypto side. You're not like foreign to this, but some people might be. Some people might be. So this is a classic scam. Happens all the time. So like, man, bro, it just makes me upset. So yeah, I think Bitcoin is going to be fine regardless, and I think also all of these coins, it's like inverse Kramer for me for most of these coins. Of course, I'm not investing in BitConnect. Not happening. I'm not investing in the Ethereum Max. Like they put a couple on here where it's like, okay, you can kind of know that these are scammy coins, but they also kind of cloaked and daggered it, or they put actual scams on here to cover the actual good ones, like LCX, like XRP, like Algorand. I mean, come on, like you got the Citrulline on here, but you don't have Sandbox on here. Why is that? I don't see Binance in here anywhere where they're always talking crap about Binance. I think this person just might have missed putting Binance on the list. But anyways, so aggravating, bro. Oh, and of course you know they're gonna put Luna on there because of what happened with that. But yeah, man, like this really grinds my gears. Telegram Gram token, which we can't buy over here. I really wanted to buy that. Inverse Kramer has been dead on. Literally do the opposites of his tweets and you're up 700. See, that's exactly what I'm talking about. And it's like time and time again. Like you can't possibly be that wrong. But yet you have people like, I don't know if they're real people or not, on Twitter were like, oh, this man has done so much. Oh my gosh, Kramer, he's such a great guy. Like, oh, look at what he's doing for the people. Like, are we serious? He's a front man. He's a propagandist. He's a mouthpiece, right? How many people have lost money in all of these different banks and things that he said? Bear Stearns, all these different things. How many people have lost money due to that man? Yeah, and still, he's doing his job. What they want him to do, he's doing his job. Yep, they may be lovable on TV and social media, but they're wired different. I know. Not to be taken at word value. Trust your instinct and follow the money. Yep. Well, a lot of these guys out here will purposely misdirect you. That's why I try to show you guys the information. You get to see the articles, you get to see fact check me, whatever, right? Um, crazy, crazy, man. Just crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. And people are going to blindly follow Kramer because he has a TV show and tons of people watch him, and he has all these Twitter followers and all of this different stuff. It's crazy. It's crazy. Hopefully one day. Hopefully one day. 100%. 100%. Straight lining the government pockets. And by the way, most prisons are public or privately owned. So you got that, and they're publicly traded too on the stock market. So people are out here just going to jail and like making peanuts to do whatever they need them to do at the prisons, and they're making tons of tax money to have these prisoners in there, and some of them for stuff like dumb stuff like marijuana, which the people like now that it's basically legal. Some of the people that were in there for that are still in there for that. And like traffic violations and oh man, bro. There's not enough time in the day. It's not enough time in the day for me to get off on all this stuff. But yeah, he does make very good points, but I'm very as far as Robert Kennedy Jr. goes, um, but I'm very extremely skeptical of this. And I don't know how we reach a point of getting away from these type of things unless like we start our own communities, you know what I mean? Um, and we kind of quote unquote govern our own selves. But yeah, these back and forth with the Democrat and Republican thing to me at this point is not the answer. I don't know. Someone has to, outside of just starting your own communities and doing things inside of your own communities. I don't know what the answer is, but it's not the it's not that. But yeah, I think at this point, like owning some Bitcoin and having some sovereign money in a cold storage wallet is an actual thing to do. The things that he mentioned about what was happening in China, that's a true point. Um, Along with carbon credits, social credit scores, and carbon credits are happening in China right now. And again, that's again against the whole thing of what they show, which is like, okay, Russia and China versus the U.S., right? Who are the people that are pushing climate change? I'll show you. Show you right now who's pushing that, right? As far as carbon credits and all of that go, right? We've seen it before. It's top of their list. Climate change, metaverse, future work, artificial intelligence. I don't know. Hopefully, one of these days, like we can break free. Like I would love that for humanity. Those talking heads on CNBC like Kramer are paid for to push a narrative. Don't fall for track this at 100%. Like, and he told on it himself one day. I don't know that people got it because he said he was talking about Rona, right? And he was saying that I think he was talking about the Chinese and Rona, and he said like the Chinese need a propagandist. They need a propagandist to change the narrative about it. Why would he say that? Because he knows that's what he is. He's a propagandist. He goes out there and he propagandizes about these stocks that they know are going to fail, get people to put money in them, and boom, 2 to 3 months later, 2 to 3 weeks to 2 to 3 months later, they're done. Or some cases like Bear Stearns, 4 or 5 days later, they're done. I did not see that. I did not see that. Man, I don't know. I don't know how we stand up and get these things solved. So you really think about it, it's like, okay, if you do vote in an independent person, right? If you vote someone in office that's not a Democrat or Republican, that someone that pledges to do something for the people, how high up would they have to be? How many different allies would they necessarily need to get something done? Like, that's why I think, okay, forget it. It has to start locally and work its way up that way. Um, you know, that's kind of where I'm at. I'm sorry, y'all. It's kind of the SEC thing and the Robert Kennedy Jr. thing got me on my kind of, I don't want to use the wrong word, um kind of on my people versus the government phase right now. Okay. But yeah, if y'all got some questions, I love to see them. And next week we'll be at the right time for sure. Um, just have some stuff going on. Okay, Sui. Okay, there we go. Sui. So Sui is another Ethereum kind of alternative. Um, Basically, I think they want to be like an enterprise, zero knowledge proof, um, blockchain, something that enterprise people can use. And it's zero knowledge proofs. Zero knowledge proofs are basically like privacy. So they don't have to say, okay, like the whole thing about Bitcoin being not traceable, right? It's hogwash because they have your token address on the ledger. So you can track that token address down, right? In this way, for enterprise, they want no ledger because they don't want to know how much. They don't want you to know how much they pay to their contractor or how much they pay to their employee. They want that part of the ledger to be zero knowledge proof, like private. Um, the thing is, Ethereum as it sits right now, Bitcoin as it kind of sits right now, you can't use it for enterprise operations. The fees are too large. Um, you can't use it if you want to go in there and do like some big data like crunching, like for instance, Visa, right? How many people own a Visa credit card? How many people are swiping a Visa credit card right now in the world? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's a lot of different people. So it needs to be like low fees and it needs to be fast. So, so a lot of different blockchains are trying to compete in that space to be like the enterprise crypto. Of course, like a lot of things, a lot of different winners are probably going to happen. Just like, look at the car industry. You got Ford, you got Fiat, you got Italian cars. Italian, like what is it, Alfa Romero. You got all these different car companies, Tesla, Neo, Xpeng. Like, you got all these different companies serving different needs everywhere, right? that's probably how it's going to be in the crypto area as well, right? So Sui is one kind of vying in that space to be an enterprise crypto solution. Their big claim to fame is that they were a part of the team that made Facebook Diem. So Facebook was trying to make its own cryptocurrency, its own like stable coin, but people put a hold on that because it's like, hey, whoa, 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 you're gonna mess up central bank profit money. You can't do that. Okay. So it wasn't because like, excuse me, it wasn't because of anything other than like, okay, you're going to be cutting into too many profits worldwide. So no, we're not going to allow you to do that, Facebook. So there is some of that happens, right? Between thieves, or excuse me, between powers that be, right? Um, so yeah. So and here's like the kind of what they say of it. First of its kind, layer one blockchain, smart chain, contract platform designed from the bottom up to make digital asset ownership fast, private. See, there it is. Fast, private, secure, and accessible to everyone. So um, that's in the nutshell. So all these different projects are popping up to kind of serve that purpose. You got ZK Sync, you got Apatos, you got all these different ones. They're kind of Casper. They're trying to vie in that enterprise space to be the enterprise crypto. And of course, what is probably going to end up happening are a ton of different ones are going to be enterprise cryptos for different things. Like how we got all these different Ethereum layer twos. You got Sui and Apatos. They're two different pieces of the Facebook DM team, but they have backing though from a lot of the same sources, like WEF sources, right? Kind of. Coinbase Ventures, Solana, all of those different people. So, yeah, that's kind of who Sui is in a nutshell. As people. So, whoa. Okay, so let me kill that. See if you had any other questions. Sui has you interested. Say I pulled that ladder up. Okay, I'll have to check that out, Ace. What is SEI? Okay, let's look at SEI right quick. SEI. I hate they changed this. I can never like takes forever to load. First sector specific layer one specialized for trading to give exchanges an unfair advantage. Decentralized exchanges are the killer app of crypto. They're everywhere, spamming much further than just AMAs, automated market makers, and order books. DEXs are just too as prevalent across NFTs and gaming as well. One of the primary use cases for NFTs today is trading them on an NFT marketplace. Another example of an exchange Most games in crypto have built-in exchanges for users to trade the in-game NFTs and tokens. DEXs command the largest network effect. Major ecosystems get built around them. Ironically, decentralized exchanges are also the most underserved application in crypto. They demand a unique level of requirements for reliability, scalability, and speed that no other apps need. If large-scale exchange goes down for a few moments, it's catastrophic, but the same downtime is far more tolerable for other application types. Historically, DEXs have succeeded in spite of the drawback of existing layer one blockchains. Interesting. So, see the website. They say they have mainnet launching soon. OKX also says they're going to invest in them. Interesting. All right, where do I get my hands on this thing? Does sound very interesting. Thought I clicked on it, but apparently not. Here we go. It's loading. It's taking a little bit. Enabling mass adoption of digital assets, say it's the fastest layer one blockchain designed to scale with the industry. Ooh, interesting. Did I miss where to buy this at? That's not what I wanted to do. Where do I get say at? Ace. Oh, token is not yet. Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay, got you. Sorry. Oh my God, guys. Like, only bring this up if I click it. Why are you just come on? Is it a airdrop candidate? Is there a way that you can qualify for an airdrop for that, Sweet? Okay, gotcha. Yeah, yeah. Send us the info on our Telegram. That'd be very, very nice, bro. I really appreciate that. Telegram does still have a ton, but it's not a stable coin. It's still in play someone. Okay. Yeah, Facebook is big, but not Visa big. But it was a threat. It was a threat for them to actually say they were going to create their own stable coin. That got shut down. Some are trying to compete with Visa, MX. Big ones are trying to join them. The future will be exclusive, inclusive, but not exclusive. Gotcha. Very nice. I like how you said that. Yeah, if Facebook would have been able to create a coin, that would have been, yeah, it would have taken a lot over. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard building with a small portfolio. Um, it's very hard. All I can say to people is to just take their time. Um, it might take you two bull runs if you have a small portfolio, and that's fine. You just have to know how to. You have to know how to take profit. That's the biggest thing. Um, and that might be some things like maybe I can do something for you guys where it's like, okay, know when to kind of try to take profit, but yeah, it might take you two bull runs to get there, and you got to be well. You just that's always the biggest thing, knowing when to take profit, and knowing, okay, like for example, like Pepe, knowing when something like, okay, maybe I can get in on the hype, and I can set a target for myself. I got in on the hype. This is my target. I have to be happy with that, you know. So yeah, and that's just being a new investor, right? You really, the more and more that you learn to be a skilled investor, you really get a bigger feel for like taking profits off the table, like, and and that's a thing that's like you kind of just have to learn that for yourself. I feel. Um, Yeah, that's the big thing of it, and I think we can get into some things like that. Let me close down our Telegram. Yep, 100% Ace, 100%. As long as you learn from mistakes, it's all good. Time in the market is the best teacher. It definitely is, because I tend to try to go with projects that are known crypto projects that solve a problem. However, however, at times, if something has enough hype around it, I will invest and choose to say, okay, I'm going to invest in this. But the whole point, the whole game is I'm investing to just take profit at a certain time. This is not something I'm holding long term. I know this is just hype. So I'm picking a point and I'm getting out. So that's the skill that you have to really, really, really hone. And that just takes time. Exactly. 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 You guys are giving some great information here. I love it. Um, that is another great thing right there. Take advantage of accumulation periods. Um, like for people like King and Zay who've seen like 3 or 4 bull markets, you really kind of get, okay, there's cycles to this stuff, right? Same with the stock market. Um, when you get a bear market, that's the perfect time to start accumulating. Let's bring up something here. I don't know if it'll. So shout out to the patrons. This is a stock that we brought up. WiseKey. WiseKey was attached to Casper. They were doing some things with Casper, WiseKey was. But here recently, WiseKey just had something announced that they're working with SpaceX. And I've been accumulating WiseKey for a little bit. And I definitely took some profits when they start talking that SpaceX stuff. But again, this was something that I knew was a thing because of Casper. So I just stockpiled it and waited for a catalyst and took some profits. I don't know why. It just is not showing up here. Okay, there it is. So shout out to the patrons. I told you guys about this first. So I just had a couple spikes. This is a semiconductor company. Again, like I told you guys, there you can see my videos. I've been talking about semiconductors for kind of a while out here. But they just announced WiseKey and FOSSA Systems to launch new WiseSat-ready satellites with SpaceX. So, boom. So things like that. Know in a bear market, like I told you guys about CleanSpark. I know in a bear market that all of these Bitcoin miners go low and they go high again. So easy money when you start recognizing these patterns. Easy. Not financial advice, but easy money, right? This is CleanSpark right now. Let's go out to the monthly chart. This is going to be a kind of bad example because it's only been through like one bull run. So you can see here, 2020 and like very nice. Okay, here we go. So you kind of have to. This is a bad example because they didn't really become a Bitcoin company till around right here, where they decided to use their stuff for Bitcoin. A better example would be Riot, where all they've done is Bitcoin mining. So let's take a look at this. And this will get into what my man's saying, what my man E's saying about taking advantage of bear cycles. Sorry, I thought I closed this Telegram. It keeps popping up and distracting me. Let's quit Telegram here. Riot. Let's do that again. I don't know what happened there. I thought I put it in, but I must have pressed another button or something. I also could have used Bitcoin as an example with this, but let's just use this one for now. So I could have used Bitcoin with this. I could have used Stellar. I could have used a couple of different coins, but you can see here, bull run in 2017, 2018, boom. Bull run after the halving in 2020, boom, right? All the way up to $80. It's chilling at how much now? $11. It was at as low as $7 or whatever, right? Every bull run is getting another top. Same thing with Bitcoin, right? Gotta take advantage of these accumulation periods. Gets really boring. You can still find some type of deals or some type of things popping in the bear market, but really important to accumulate. Planning your trade. That is also another great thing right there. This is especially important when you're trading these things that are just hype. You very much have to plan your trade there. And unlike what Caroline says, use stop losses and things like that, right? So very important thing right there. So this is what I wanted to hit you guys with today. Seems like Robert Kennedy has become Captain Bitcoin out here. Again, I don't know how much I trust any of these people, but maybe he is the crypto candidate, right? And I'm kind of taking the whole inverse Kramer rule with these SEC coins, the ones that the SEC says are securities. I'm inverse Kramering that. So to me, I'm going to look at some of those coins. Of course, not like Ethereum Max, not BitConnect. I want to look at some of those coins like XRP, like LCX, like Algorand, like Tron, like an inverse Kramer. So hopefully, I haven't done a Sunday in a while. Maybe like it depends on what's going on tomorrow. Possibly I'll be see you guys on Sunday. But if not, I will definitely see you guys on Tuesday. Have a good one, guys. Peace.